to the top shop of the World of Driftwood Works. This is our first live stream. We wanted to show you this because we think that pouring a river live would be pretty cool, because I've never really seen a river table get poured live. It's always been like through videos I've seen on YouTube or Instagram. And we've poured thousands and thousands of liters in river tables, and the opportunity, well, that'd be cool. I think it'll balance a little bit. But yeah, like here's an example of one we just did for a customer. This is made from silver maple, and this is a Bora Bora color. So we're gonna use Bora Bora in this next river as well. But this is like an example of like a really cool dining table we did for a customer. This area is kind of like for floating shelves. When customers come in, they get to choose their own wood. Either they're going to work on it for like DIY projects, or we can build something from the wood for them. There's like tons of different, I call them flavors, not species of wood, jokingly. But like an example, like this insane walnut slab could be like a cool console table. But it's just like being able to walk the customer around instead of being like, here's my website, check this out. They can come in person and you can see and choose it right in front of you. Kind of get an idea of how the grain's going to look like once it's finished too. This is a river rock table we just did for somebody. We did it a couple years ago, but we're refinishing it right now. They have it outside, so the elements got to it. So we're just kind of like patching up some holes, and then resanding it, and then recoating it with finish. This is my mom's area. She has quite a few knickknacks and paddywhacks going on here. I'm not really sure what. Well, Oregons. I'm sure you've heard of those. Pretty cool. She works with a lot of like feathers too. She loves butterflies. What else can we show them? Can you see the bowl from that angle? Or is it better from the other window?
I think that window's better.
Sorry for the dirty windows, guys. You can kind of see it. These are guitars we did back in the day too. This was more in like 2018, 19. A fan of mine made this for me. This is a random thing. I think we did like a demo in Edmonton, Alberta.
A demo for
Skateboarding.
And it says alien because
Yeah, I guess you guys don't know my nickname's Alien, but I can do this crazy arm trick. I'm double jointed. I'm not gonna walk around it right now. That'll be a different video, but my head was pretty big for my body when I was younger too, so I guess that's why I got the nickname. These are all the different colors from Black Diamond Pigments. They're an awesome company. I think they're from Florida, and they kind of sponsor us as well. In this case, we're gonna use Bora Bora for the pigment color. Here's some other pieces of wood that easily could be used for bar tops, countertops, river tables. But for example, like normally with using epoxy, you'd have to like cut this part out, but you can fill this part with epoxy and it becomes a solid. I love these types of wood because you got like these really cool live edge corners too. Same with like this Siberian elm slab where you have like the dark grain, it's spalted. Here's some motivation from Bruce Lee. This one's pretty good too. This is a weird, people always, they come by, friends will just give me random pieces of wood because it looks like a scary mask, and I guess it kind of does. This is one of my first pro models. Those are all my favorite animals. But yeah, I'd say let's get to it. I've already measured and poured both the buckets. The river table is counting for 24 liters. So we can't pour 24 in one jug, so we had to split it up, 12 and 12. And now for the fun part, we're going to add some of the Bora Bora I was telling you about. Can you see it okay?
Somebody gave us a like.
Nice.
A heart, maybe?
Thanks for the heart. It's nerve-wracking kind of being on live video in front of people doing stuff like this. So thanks for the support. I usually go about that much in each. And then I'll put it low so you guys can see how cool it is when we stir it up. So what I normally use, I just use a hand drill, and I got a paddle mixer on it, which you can see this thing's gone through hell. But it works really great to like consistently mix up the epoxy. And another thing I want to mention is that I'm a retailer for eco epoxy. To me, this is like the best stuff on the market. It's made from a derivative of soybeans too. And I've been using it for easily 8 years. So yeah, this part's awesome. You just put it to the bottom and you start spinning. And I go for about like maybe 2.5 minutes. And yeah, the temperature is super important too. So like in the monster river table right now, you're about to see us pour it in. Just, you gotta stick around to see it though. That's the addicting part, is just watching it spin. Sorry if this part's kind of boring for you guys, but it's got to be done. Okay, I think that's good. I try to get to the bottom of the bucket and the sides. Kind of let it drip off. Give it a little rinse spin. Don't hit your wife in the leg or she'll kill you. So yeah, that's the best part. Let's see, you watch it like slowly. And you're just trying to keep the consistency the same. When they mix together in the river, it'll pretty much do what it wants to do. Kind of like if you show them that river again that's cured. Don't go too fast because it will splurge. Yeah, and like if you guys have other ideas, comment on this live video, even if you're watching it now live or you see it later on. Comment and tell us like what other cool live stream videos that you guys would want to see, like with skateboarding, or there's a lot of stuff we can do on the property. Skateboarding, milling, woodworking. Most of the woodworking's tough because you got to have a loud machine going and it's harder, but the sawmill would be pretty cool. Let's rinse it one more time. Get a drink of water. I think we're good. I'll just open the door. Our trusty sidekick Gizmo is out there waiting for us, I think. Everyone cross your fingers. Don't dump the bucket. This is the upper skate park. We call it the street section, kind of. Oh. Just gonna close the door for bugs because they love the smell of epoxy for some reason, and they like to venture into the river once you pour it. It's great. Okay, so I see one bug. I'll walk around the shop. Or just this?
Walk around the shop, or like just talk about the mold and the wood.
Yeah. So we have silver maple wood we're using again. And we had just pre-built the mold out of MDF, and we use a lot of tuck tape. When I say tuck tape, it's usually used for sheathing, like insides of house, like houses when they do the insulation on the poly. It's really well, it's a good release agent for the epoxy. So we use a ton of that. We're putting the mold on the CNC this time because this client's table is really, really wide. It's 46 inches wide. And the table upstairs, I just feel like it's not wide enough to pour the river on. So we're not going to take a chance, and we're going to pour it on here, which is extremely the most solid table I have in the whole house. And it's level this way and this way. And the temperature is nice down here. Said it was 24, which is perfect. And we also use fans after the pour. I'm just gonna spray this one off for a second because I know we need that. Sorry for that loud noise, guys. We're gonna set this one up after. Especially when rivers are this wide, you want to have some airflow for so it doesn't heat up too quick and cure too quick, because it can do things that are not cool. I'll give you another eye of the shop too over here. I don't know about you, but I like Pink Floyd. I hang a lot of the posters in here of things that just get me stoked. That's the awesome bandsaw. That thing can resaw up to 16 inches. This is our drum sander. It's covered in sawdust, just from sanding. This is a really cool piece of bark that came off a walnut, and I want to use it as like a... This might be a cool thumbnail too. Like this or something. But this came off the bark, or sorry, off a piece of walnut after it came out of the kiln. But I think it'd be cool to have like as a picture frame. Gandhi. Sometimes we do some welding. We had to make the sawmill. Some extra pieces of wood in here. Kind of miscellaneous, but they're all really cool. If you ever want to come by and look at wood, we're just out in Pass Creek near Castlegar. How many minutes we're at? 17. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. How do you feel? Do you want to pour this? Okay. Sorry for the anticipation, guys. Okay, you ready?
Yes, let's do it.
So the first jug is going in. And that should bring us about halfway. I kind of over measured a little bit just because I knew that there was cracks in the other pieces of wood, as you can see, like in here, and on this side. When I pour up tables this big, I like to like flood pour them so the epoxy goes over the top, and then when you plane it, like it planes it more uniform. And then it's probably going to start going over, which I wanted to do. And I'll kind of like pour a bit into here. Maybe I'll come. Yeah, it's pretty soothing. And now you kind of just try to get all the smaller cracks. And you can kind of see the epoxy starting to like, it cures, but it takes hours. Like this one cures in 72 hours, but the first 8 hours, you'll watch the epoxy. Like if you put a time lapse on this, you can watch it move, which is pretty cool. And then I want to use like a paint stick. You don't have to do this, but I find it pretty fun. So you can kind of like go like this, and it leaves like swirls. And you can go like different. It won't stay like that to a degree, but you kind of just fancy sticking it, I call it. I'll try to do it in the middle. Pretty cool stuff though. I'm just gonna jump over to that side because I want to fill that back crack. So yeah, you're just trying to get any of the cracks you see to fill. So then they cure all at the same time. And then when this is cured, I'm gonna take it out of the mold and put it onto the CNC, which it's pretty much on the CNC right now. Plane the top, plane the bottom. Then I cut it to size, and then we sand the top and the bottom, and then we apply finish. Sounds very easy and straightforward, yet no, it's not. But I just thought it'd be cool to show you guys one live. Like I said before, if you guys have any cool ideas or want to see anything that you've seen on our page but you want to see it live, just message us and like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.